James Gallagher, BBC News.
This programme continues on BBC One.
Hello. This morning, we revealed that the investigation into Diane Abbott's comments on racism finished 5 months ago. 12 hours after our story dropped, the Labour leadership have lifted her suspension. But is she banned from standing as a Labour candidate in this election? Plus, the Conservatives say if they win the election, they will protect pensioners from their own future tax rises. But are they neglecting young voters? Hi, welcome to Election Newsnight. We are live each weeknight at 10:30 on BBC Two and BBC News and iPlayer, with interviews and insight. With me throughout the programme this evening, Labour MP Dawn Butler and former Conservative Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng, who, like around 76 of his Tory colleagues, is standing down. First, let's bring you up to date with today's election stories, starting with our exclusive that we broke this morning, that the Labour investigation into Diane Abbott over her comments on racism was finished 5 months ago, and tonight the Labour leadership have lifted their suspension of her and restored the whip. Nick is here. Bring our viewers up to date. More from you in a moment. Thank you. In the meantime, for all the election content, BBC iPlayer has launched a live stream with the latest from Vote 2024, and you can also watch the best Newsnight interviews on our YouTube channel. Let's talk now to James Murray, who has been put up by Labour this evening. Thank you very much for being with us. Now, the Tories tonight are calling Sir Keir Starmer a liar over this Diane Abbott latest news. Is he? Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Thank you, James Murray. Right, we will be talking to the Transport Secretary, Mark Harper, in a few minutes' time. But first, let's talk again to our panel, Kwasi Kwarteng and Dawn Butler, who are here with us. Let me ask you, Kwasi Kwarteng, about the two big announcements we've had from the Tories so far in this election campaign: compulsory national service for 18-year-olds and the triple lock plus, as the Conservatives are calling it, protecting pensions from future Tory tax rises. Right. What do you think? Let's find out, because we are going to talk now to the Transport Secretary, Mark Harper, who is sitting over here by Regent Street. Thank you very much for talking to our viewers tonight, Mr. Harper. On your pensions announcement today, then, just to be clear, what you're doing is unfreezing the freeze that the Prime Minister brought in when he was Chancellor, correct? Thank you very much for talking to our audience.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Mark Harper, who is the Transport Secretary, as you know. Right, let's have a quick look at some of tomorrow's newspapers. So we've got the Daily Telegraph. Sunak: I'm talking to Johnson about the election. Maybe I'll mention that to Kwasi Kwarteng in just a moment. The Times: Sunak plans university cuts to boost apprentices. Should have put that to Mark Harper. Daily Mail, Tory vow to ban rip-off university degrees by changing the law. Financial Times, Ofwat sketches out recovery regime to avoid nationalising water groups. The I think we have Triple Lock Plus to save retirees 28p a week on the state pension. And then front page of The Guardian, Israeli spy chief threatened ICC official over war crimes inquiry. Right, Sir Ed Davey, leader of the Lib Dems, got on a paddleboard today, and guess what happened? Thank you, Dawn Butler, Kwasi Kwarteng. Thank you very much, Nick, as always. See you tomorrow. That's it from us. Election Newsnight is with you each weeknight from 10:30 with live interviews and insight and loads of analysis. Plus, we're live, so you never quite know what's going to happen. See you tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Martine Croxall. You're watching BBC News. In the next hour, we'll bring you the latest news from around the world, including the wars in Gaza and Ukraine and the Donald Trump hush money trial. And we'll take you through tomorrow's front pages. Sounds familiar. But we begin with the general election campaign. The veteran MP Diane Abbott has been reinstated by Labour after she was suspended last year during a disciplinary process. But it's unclear tonight whether she will or can stand for the party at the general election. The Hackney North and Stoke Newington MP, who was first elected in 1987, was suspended after suggesting that Jewish, Irish and traveller people did not face racism all their lives. It's understood that party officials had tried to broker a deal by which she would be readmitted in return for standing down. Here's our political correspondent, Damien Grammaticus.